Hello, this is Waswo. Thank you for joining me for another cup of midweek coffee. This is Evil O, and today we're going to be talking about... Who are you?
Waswo. I'm Waswo. No, I'm Waswo. That can't be. Yes, it can be, but I'm the one and only. Not really. You are a fake. No, you're a fake. I am an addition. What number? I'm an addition of 1 over 1. One only. Addition of 1 is an original. That's what I said.
So, now that we got that out of the way, this morning's talk is going to obviously be about additions, but before I get into that, I want to say a couple things. The first thing is, if you hear a little buzzing in the background, that's my neighbor's air conditioner, which is making a lot of noise this morning. I don't know why, but it's humming away like crazy. I'll try to take it out in editing as best I can. I just want to first of all say a few things I normally don't say at the beginning of the video. And that is thanks to all of you who have been following these. The last video that was done on Sabrat Behera has gone over 500 views. I think we're close to 50 or over 50 likes now. That's very good for one of my videos. This is still a young channel, it's still growing. The more of you who subscribe, the more of you who like my videos, it really helps. Just don't watch them and like them on Facebook or whatever, but really like them on the channel on YouTube if you can, and subscribe if you can, because it helps this channel grow. So anyway, now that I've said that, editioning, yes, it's a real issue for printmakers and also for photographers such as myself. In the art world, there has often been especially in recent times, there has been a expectation that works are original, meaning they're one of a kind, they're unique. All of that is done because, of course, it makes it more rare, and collectors like to buy things that are rare. They want to think they have the only one, and nobody else has anything quite like that. But in the history of art, that hasn't always been the case, and I'm going to go to the miniature painting tradition again because I'm a little familiar with that, but making copies was quite common. Even like the preliminary drawings that were done for miniature paintings, sometimes you can find some that are almost like identical, and they have some value even though they're identical, but that's not the point I really want to make. Editioning really came in with the printmaking process. No, that's wrong. I shouldn't say that. I think editioning came in with sculpture, actually. So if you looked at sculptors such as Brancusi, or go back even further than that, you will find that they made, 3 of these and 4 of those, and that continues today. And nobody seems to question it. Nobody seems to question the fact that there are, I believe, 3 of the Subodh Gupta trees that stands in front of the NGMA in New Delhi. I believe there's an edition of 3 of those. One of them is at a collector in the USA's in their yard, in their lawn, believe it or not. One's at the NGMA. I'm not sure where the other one is. Nobody really questions that sculptures are made in editions. But when it comes to printmaking, for some reason, then there's all this whoop-de-doo about, oh, well, how many are there? How many? What's the edition number? Is this an edition of 4, an edition of 7, an edition of 20, of 100? Now, printmaking being printmaking, especially if you're doing something such as dry point, you can't even make that many copies because the matrix actually breaks down as you print. So if you're trying to do a dry point, you can't go much beyond maybe at the most 20 impressions, and it starts to really lose the quality of the dry point. But that's besides the point. The point is printmakers, photographers, when they try to sell their work, they really have to decide what is the edition number going to be. And a smaller edition number to me is better in most cases. I sort of laugh when I see young photographers, and They open with their first exhibition and they number their print like one of 200 or something. I was like, well, you must think you're really going to sell a lot, but all it does is devalue the work, because nobody wants to think that there's 200 of these images floating around. If somebody's going to spend money for it, they want to know that this is one of 3, one of 5, at the most, maybe one of 20. That's my personal take on it. That's my personal opinion. Printmakers, when they're doing woodcuts, etchings, will many times push it up to 30, 35, 50. But even I myself as a collector, if I see a print and it says an edition of 75 or 100, I lose interest right away. It's like there's just too many of them in circulation. It sort of ruins the feeling that you do have something special. And I'm one of those collectors that I'm not that possessive that I have to feel I have the only one, but I do have to feel that I have something special. And if there's too many floating out there, it loses the uniqueness that makes the collector desire it and want it. Some collectors will debate me on that for sure, but this is my personal take. A big problem with editioning that I see is that so many young printmakers and photographers too overuse the artist's proof. And I noticed this when I was collecting prints. There were so many prints that were labeled, rather than a numerical sequence like 1, 3, 5, 3. There wouldn't be a 5, 3. 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, like that. Instead, there was just AP artist proof. And after a while, you start to wonder, well, how many artist proofs were there? And honestly, quite honestly, for an artist proof, if you make an edition of 10, there should be maybe 1 artist proof, at the most. If you make an edition of 15, you might have 2 artist proofs or 3 artist proofs. But if you go much beyond that, it really becomes a way of cheating. It becomes a way of saying that this is how many objects I've made, but in reality I've made this many more because I'm selling artist proofs. And it ruins the market. So printmakers and photographers who do that, they really have to bite the bullet. And even if and I know it's very tempting, if you're sold out in an edition, and I have some of my hand-colored photographs that have been sold out, and they were very popular, and people still come and say, oh, is that one available? I'd love to buy it. Yeah, it's tempting sometimes, especially if you need the money. It can be tempting. Oh, I could just make another one of those and make it an artist proof. But it just kills your market, and it doesn't only kill your market, it kills everybody's market. So that's probably the primary thing I want to say this morning. I know I spoke real fast and stumbled over my words a little bit, but just wanted to say that. This Saturday, I'm uploading a very interesting interview that I did with Anubhav Nath at Ojaz Art in New Delhi. So I hope many of you look forward to that. It'll be up on Facebook and YouTube on Saturday, I believe. So do look for that. And then further, I think the weekend after that, I'll be uploading an interview, the second part with Puneet Kaushik. There might be a little hiatus. I got to go to Hyderabad and I have to do press checks and overlook the printing of the Gauri Dancer book that some of you know about, that I'm involved in putting out, and that's actually going to press. So there might be a little hiatus in some of these videos simply because I'm going to get busy for a while. So that's all I wanted to say today. Thank you, and please like and subscribe, and thank you. Goodbye. Have a good day. From Wazwo X Wazwo. Bye. Evil O.